And welcome to a Halloween edition of Fourth and Pain, the only
Oh,
pro wrestling show to be hosted by an NFL player and a weight loss champion. He is Adam Carriker, harkening back to the NWO Wolfpack, and I am former pro wrestling announcer turned said weight loss champion Chuck Carroll. Happy Halloween, Adam.
hey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Was that a throwback to the NWO Wolfpack days, or were you just getting in the Halloween spirit?
I think it was a combination of that. You know, you best not turn your back on the wolf pack, and then the Halloween spirit, kind of a two-in-one thing. It was both of those.
Wow. Oh man, you even know the lyrics to that, man. I had forgotten
Or you
about
might
that.
find yourself in a body bag.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. When wrestling was super popular and I was in high school, I would walk around with my NWO red and black t-shirt and think that I was, the bee's knees, and my roll-up jam was that song. I would arrive to high school at 6:45 in the morning blaring that, and I was about the only one. But that's okay.
I remember guys on the football team. I was a freshman, and we do the three fingers in the air and then the two to the side. It looked like kind of like a wolf or whatever. And you touch your buddy's fingers or whatever. We do that in between plays if you had a really good play or something like that.
Nice.
We were pretty cool.
Nice.
We were pretty sweet.
Dude, everybody liked wrestling, and I maintain everybody still does. They're just closeted about it, like it's the big taboo, and I say nay. Let us serve as the heroes that we are and bring people out of the wrestling shell. Follow us to the promised land that is the squared circle. It's okay to be a fan. Just saying.
I completely agree. I come out of that closet. It's okay. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared. All right, man. Well, let's get down to business. Be sure to follow us on Fourth and Pain on Twitter at Fourth and Pain, and like us on Facebook, and of course bookmark fourthandpain.com. But Adam, this past Monday night, the Survivor Series teams were set up. We have Team Foley versus Team Punk. And you would think Mick Foley and CM Punk, they had their little skirmish a couple of months ago, so maybe the WWE Hardcore Legend is going to dust off his wrestling boots one more time and get into the ring. Not going to happen. He's just going to serve as a captain for Team Foley. And what does he do? He goes out and he sets up this team consisting of Kofi Kingston, Daniel Bryan, Kane, Randy Orton, and Ryback. Pretty good team. I'm liking where this is going. But Paul Heyman, then, he's got his own team in mind. He's doing the drafting for CM Punk. And who does he bring in? He brings in The Miz, who's currently in a feud with Kofi Kingston. He goes out and he gets Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow, currently trying to get the tag team gold from Team Hell No and Daniel Bryan and Kane. And then, of course, Alberto Del Rio, who's going head-to-head with Randy Orton. They just had their match at Hell in the Cell. And we need to talk about CM Punk and Ryback. Not going to have a one-on-one rematch, but they will square off as part of the Survivor Series team at the pay-per-view, which is in a little less than 3 weeks at this point. Who do you like? Who's got the better team at this point, Adam?
Well, Foley's team got a lot better once I found out he was not on it and Ryback was. First things first. As far as who has the edge, it's tough. It's tough because I don't know because you got to think Heyman's going to interfere. You got to think Foley's going to play some sort of a role. You got to think about all these outside factors that are going to play a role. But ultimately, I think that I have no idea at this point. You know what I think we should do?
What's that?
Because I think those teams are kind of weak, if you want my opinion. I think we need to draft our own teams.
Oh, I'm on board with this. I wouldn't go so far as to say that those teams are weak, but I do think that you and I can do better. But you know what we're going to...
Once I draft my team, that team is going to look Charmin soft.
Charmin soft? You calling my draft picks 2-ply? Nay, sir. You guys are going to have 3-ply. There will be no breaking down and wetness for this team over here, okay? Chuck's team is going to dominate Team Carriker in our little mock Survivor Series, okay? And you know what? We're going to take this one step further. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put up a poll on fourthandpain.com and we'll list our 5 guys. That's what the Survivor Series teams are made up of. They're made up of 5 wrestlers. Your guys versus my guys. Then you guys go to fourthandpain.com, cast your vote, let us know who's got the better team. And I guarantee you this, my scary looking friend on Halloween, I guarantee you this, when people see my team, they're going to say, hey, those are natural born winners. And then they're going to take a look at your team and they're going to say, hey, those are the kids that nobody wanted to sit with in the lunchroom. Those are the losers. Those are the people that nobody appreciates. Those are the people that are going to get walked on for their entire life. And who are those people? They are Team Carriker.
First of all, it's because of promos like that they won't let Ryback talk. Second of all, Team Carriker is going to dominate Team Frodo. Let's just get that clear. When you go onto Twitter and you see Team Carriker and you see Team Frodo, you best be voting for Team Carriker because you don't want to vote for none of them little hobbits.
No. There will be no Team Frodos, okay? There's only gold, okay? We are Olympians.
Team Frodo.
We are world-class champions over here. We don't have time for no little Lord of the Rings hobbits. We only have time for greatness. And although I may be short in stature, my team is going to be standing tall and victorious over your overgrown, gigantic, yet pathetic roster of a mock Survivor Series team, Carriker.
You know what? You're like a white Smurf. You know that?
A white Smurf? That's the best comeback you have?
You're like a white Smurf. That's funny.
The white Smurf.
Let's pick our team, shall we?
All right, you know what? Because I'm the gentleman and I'm so confident and I already know who my 5 guys are going to be, I'm going to give you first pick. I'm going to let you pick your first superstar. Why? Because it doesn't matter. I'm going to win. Mind you, it needs to be...
How do you know who your guys are going to be?
Because I'm that good. Because I'm that good. People like to back the winner, and frankly, between the two of us, Adam, I am the winner.
First of all, 3-ply is stronger than 2-ply. And you said my team is 3-ply and your team is 2-ply. So we're already stronger than you by your own admission. And I don't want the first pick. I have a strategy. And you can have the first pick.
Fine. You know what? I'll take the first pick, and I thank you for that. And with that first pick, I'm taking Mr. Controversy. I'm taking Mr. Wristband, Mr. Rise Above Hate himself. I'm taking John Cena. Top that, sir.
I heard you lost a lot of weight eating all them Fruity Pebbles, but that being said, I am going to, because you took the first pick, it is customary for the next person to get the second and third picks.
Oh, we can do this snake style.
Strategy. That is part of my strategy. Are you okay with this, Mr. Fruity Pebbles?
Yeah, we can do this Jake the Snake style. This matters not to me. Go ahead, snake on with 2 and 3.
I'm going to go with The Undertaker as my first pick. And then I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar as my second pick.
All right, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Here, let me just take a couple of shots here at your first 2 picks. Your guys have wrestled a total of 3 matches this entire year? And granted, technically they are on the current roster, but good Lord, Adam, 3 matches in the entire year. My guy is a friggin' workhorse. My guy doesn't get time off. Your guys, you know what my guy is? My guy is like the San Francisco Giants who went in and swept the Detroit Tigers because the Detroit Tigers had all of that time off. And when they came back and it was time to play those World Series games, they were rusty. The Undertaker, he's going to be rusty. Brock Lesnar, he's going to be rusty. John Cena is John Lincecum and the San Francisco Giants. And who are the San Francisco Giants? They, my friends, are the world champions.
Are you done?
Oh, I'm done, and I'm ready to make
some long-winded blowhard promos. Are you done?
I'm done. I told you I was done.
We're losing ratings the longer you talk. Are you done?
No, I'm done. And you know what? You're running scared. You're just stalling.
My guy just has the longest winning streak in WrestleMania history, 20 in a row. My guy beat Hulk Hogan. My guy beat Stone Cold Steve Austin. My guy beat The Rock. My guy beat Ric Flair, The Undertaker. Oh, let's talk about Mr. Brock Lesnar, Mr. UFC heavyweight champion, 2-time amateur collegiate national champion, threw around your Fruity Pebble, you can't see me, yes I can, yeah, I can see through your fingers, jabroni. I would draft The Rock if he was available. Like a rag doll, his first match back. It's not even close. Could you just make your second pick, please?
Ring Rust. Ring Rust. With my second pick, the 4th overall in the draft, I'm taking who? CM Punk. Deal with that, and then we're going to follow that up with who else? Ryback. Why Ryback? You could be saying you can't put...
What are you doing?
Huh? What am I doing? We're
You
doing
don't
this...
go twice in a row.
Oh, you can pick twice in a row, but I can't. Nay, sir.
You got the number 1 overall pick. It goes 1, 2, 3, then you go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You said we were doing this snake style, man.
I never said snake style. You said snake style. I don't even
That's
know
how
what
you...
snake style means. It kind of makes me wonder about you.
Anybody that ever does a fantasy draft, it goes snake style. It goes 1, 2... and then the person at the end of the line would get, that last pick and then the first pick of the next round. And then that pattern just repeats itself. Snake style. That's how we were going.
No, you go 1, 2, 3, then you go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Your logic makes no sense.
On your team who can pleasure himself using his left hand. It's about time you got a guy with 2 working wrists. Although they're going to get along like oil and vinegar. Way to put together a wonderful team, Mr. Manager.
Your logic on drafting makes no sense, and that to me tells me what? I'm on the right track, because you are not making sense. You are not wise enough to put together a stable of 5 good wrestlers if you can't even put together decent draft rules, man. I've never heard of your convoluted, the one guy gets a handicap because he's picking first overall. Nay, sir, I don't like this one little bit.
Did you ever watch the rookie, the All-Star, NBA All-Star game? They picked the rookie team. That's exactly how they pick the rookie team every year. That's where I got it from, buddy. I'm just saying.
The NBA rookie
team?
The NBA rookie team? Good Lord, man. I'm talking about every fantasy football draft ever. I'm talking about this. My rules are closer to any professional sports draft out there. Closer to what you see in April's NFL draft. Closer to what you get in the NBA draft during the summer. Hell, it's even closer to hockey and baseball, and nobody watches those things.
Well, thanks to you, nobody listens to the show now. But actually, by your logic, we should have 32 different guys, and everyone should get a single pick, and then we should have to go through all the way through again, 32 guys in the second round, by your logic.
I don't like your logic. All I'm saying is I'm right and you're wrong.
That's what you
but
just said.
You know what? Let's just put the beef aside.
That's what you just said.
Shh. Listen to me now. Let's just put the beef aside for a short time. You can go ahead. You can make the pick, the 5th overall. I will take Ryback off my draft board, and you can now promptly put him on your team.
Okay, good. I'm going to pick Ryback. Who's your pick?
God, you suck. You suck so bad. Okay, fine. You know what? With that, I'm going to counter Ryback with who? I'm going to counter him with Kane. Okay, Kane, the big red machine. Why? Because he's both entertaining, big, and scary. He is the man. Who do you have next with your 4th pick?
I don't believe this guy officially retired, and had I thought of him sooner, I would have picked him a lot higher. He came out one night and talked about whether he was going to retire, and never officially did it. So I got to assume he's still on the active roster. I'm going to go with Triple H.
You're putting together, Ryback aside, you're putting together the AARP All-Stars, okay?
I'm putting together the greatest team of all time. These are future Hall of Famers.
You know what you're doing?
The greatest team of all.
You're putting together
Babe Ruth being on the same team.
Exactly, Babe
I don't know
Ruth.
Any current baseball players.
Exactly, Babe Ruth.
I would come up with a really cool name. Albert Pujols.
Babe Ruth, the New York
Yankees.
Yankees.
It's still really good.
The New York Yankees. Hear me now.
It's not like I picked Hulk Hogan.
Hogan,
I mean, I can't even walk anymore.
The same team that tries to buy championships every single year, and the same team that always comes up short. They're paying for older, aging talent that have already had their seasons in the sun. They no longer work. And I'm looking at your roster, and I'm planning to visit them next week in the retirement home, Adam. In the retirement home. And so that's why I look at my roster and I see this stable of young studs, Kane aside, but he's legendary. And then I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to go with The Miz. Why? Because he's young and he's awesome. Who's your final pick?
He lost his last 4 matches in a row.
Doesn't
you're
matter.
Doing a wonderful job.
He's
and
awesome.
your statement doesn't even ring true, because the Yankees actually have more professional championships than any other sports team on earth. As much as I detest and hate that team, they are successful in buying their championships. So your statement's not even true.
Wrong. They got their their championships when they weren't buying teams. You know, they've been on this spending spree for the last decade, more than that, and they've never even they've come up short every time. They haven't won the World Series title since. It's just never going to work. It's never going to work. It's like what the Washington Redskins did.
How many World Series championships do they have?
A lot more than anybody else, but at no time.
The next closest sports team that's even close to them with the most amount of world championships is the Lakers. And I believe they either have 19 or 20. And that's quite a huge difference. And that's why I hate the Yankees, because they buy their championships. But your facts aren't even correct. They make no sense.
My facts...
Your AARP card.
You and your fine. You know what? Who's your final grandfather on the team? Trot out your fifth and final grandpa. Trot him out.
Let's see.
Roll him out in his wheelchair.
First of all, it's just one match. It's just one match against, you got guys that don't like each other, guys that can't get along. You got a guy who's lost his last 4 matches in a row, can't even hold on to the Intercontinental title anymore. He's trying to become an announcer. How's that going? Number 5, you know what? Just to antagonize the only guy in your roster who strikes any fear into anybody whatsoever, I'm going to take Daniel Bryan.
Fine.
Because he is the tag team champion.
Says you.
Says Daniel Bryan.
Well, so says Kane. That one's yet to be settled. And you know who I'm going to go out and I'm going to get with my 5th and final pick? I'm going to go out. I'm going to get the other current champion in WWE. I'm going to go out. I'm going to get the world champion. I'm going to get the Big Show. That's my final guy. And you could say, the Big Show, he only held the belt for 45 seconds. But you know what? He beat the bejesus out of Sheamus at Hell in a Cell. And so, you know what? We draft these today, just a few days removed from the pay-per-view, and I'm thinking, hey, the big guy's on a hot streak. That is draft logic, my friend.
Well, from what I understand, he's been wrestling for almost 20 years and has only held a championship belt 3 times in his life, which is pretty sad. The dude is almost 42 years old. You want to talk about old people. And in giant years, that's like 70. So, God,
The Undertaker is 77 years old.
AARP, he's going to be talking about RIP pretty soon. Let's be honest. You're doing RIP already.
The Undertaker is 77 years old, okay? You know who...
20-0 at WrestleMania.
Right. He was around for the first WrestleMania in 1908. Something like that.
That's not even true.
Yes, it is.
It's not even true.
Yes,
He's
it
only
is.
been in 20 of them.
You want to know? Here's a fact. The Undertaker, a veteran of the First World War.
Wow.
# pillar of honesty. All right, so you know what?
You have to go to making up stuff, then I'm just done. You're just gonna lie. I'm just done. This is why you can't get a girl, because they can see right through your lies. That's why it's been a year. # pillar of truth.
You know what? That's a low blow. You just pulled a Brad Maddox, okay, or whatever that referee's name.
Give you a low blow? Is that possible? Would I literally have to lay down on the ground? How would I give you a low blow?
Hey, easy does it there, Gimpy. Easy does it there, Gimpy. You're handicapped right now, which gives me the advantage, all right? All I need is a steel chair, because you sure as hell... I can get into one shot and run away. You can't catch me. You can't catch me.
You need about 3 stepladders in a steel chair. I'll give you that.
It doesn't matter. I'll climb those 3 step ladders and I'll smack the ever-loving bejesus out of you, and then I'll run away, because that's the kind of guy I am. But you know what? At the end of the day, you know what that also makes me, Adam? It makes me a winner. It makes me a winner.
No, I'll just stick my 18-month-old daughter on you. She'll take care. She'll handle the business.
She can't catch me either. Her little
yes,
legs
have...
I've
seen you run.
You have not seen me run.
Oh, you're right. I've seen you attempt to run. That's a better way to put it.
I was speed walking. I was training for that Olympic sport. All right, well, listen, enough of those shenanigans. Go to fourthandpain.com. Go to fourthandpain.com. Cast your vote. Let us know who has the better team. Is it my team? The team of champions? The great. It is not Team Frodo. These are all winners. Frodo is not a winner. The team of Chuck Carroll.
That's Stephen Bowen. He thinks it's Team Frodo.
And you know what Stephen Bowen did? He came up to me and he feels bad now because I don't like Lord of the Rings. So I'm sure he's going to come up with some other cute little nickname to call me, but at least it ain't going to be Frodo. Why? Because he respects me. And so who's got he respects me and he thanked me for being who I am. Who's got the better team? I'm so full of it. Who's got the better team? Me, the team of champions, John Cena, CM Punk, Kane, Miz, and The Big Show, going up against Adam's AARP All-Stars, The Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, Ryback the Young Buck in the Squad, Triple H, and Daniel Bryan. Who's got the better team? Cast your vote at fourthandpain.com. Happy Halloween. It's been a scary show, a scary segment. Let's switch gears a little.
What are you going to be for Halloween? Are you going to be Frodo for Halloween?
No, I'm going to... You know what?
You grow your hair out and be Frodo? Add some extra Rogaine tomorrow. Just put some extra on.
I have a full head of hair. I have locks that would make you jealous. You know what? You are jealous of my luscious locks. Okay? I don't need anybody Rogaine. I don't need your Rogaine. Okay? You can make all the hair jokes you want, Mr. Plugs over there. But the bottom line is this. My hair is all natural. Your hair has been plugged. That's all I have to say about that.
I have more hair under my armpits than you do on top of your head, buddy.
And you know what? It's because you got hair plugs under your arms. I'm tired of...
ridiculous.
About as ridiculous as me using Rogaine. I mean, as long as we're spitting truth here, you not only have hair plugs under your arms, you got hair plugs on your back. Why? Because you wanted to look more manly. You were tired of looking like a 12-year-old boy. An overgrown 12-year-old boy, but a 12-year-old boy nonetheless.
You know what I heard? You know why it's been a year since you've been able to be around a lady, shall we say? I heard the last time you tried to be around a lady, you took all your clothes off, poured some syrup on your head, and go, hey, baby, you want to try a short stack?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Same well, different water, tastes just as good every time.
Damn you.
You should have seen the look I just got from my wife. Wow.
Damn you. I don't think I can be your friend anymore.
Let's have some sort of semblance of professionalism. We have just gone off our rocker.
Holy Jesus.
Chuck and I are friends. We do get along. Everything's okay. We're not going to blow each other up. Just want to let everyone out there know.
Short stack. That's a good bit, though. That is a good bit. My hat is off to you, sir. Oh, God. Okay. You wanted to talk NBA.
I'm sorry, real quick. Then we'll move on to some serious business. I've had that one in the bag for a while, and I was saving it for a rainy day. I was like, you know what, that's good, but I'm going to put that in my back pocket. You know, I just felt the need to pull it out.
Want to try a short stack? You're an idiot. I love you, but you're an idiot.
I'll let you have that one.
Thank
I
you.
won the war.
Good Lord. Yeah, that is a trump card tonight, but well, I'll get you next time, Gadget. Next time. All right, here we go. NBA time. Let's talk some legitimate sports before we take it home here on Fourth and Pain. Of course, Wednesday marked the opening of the NBA season, and Adam and I, we just got the wild hair to try to talk intelligently about the sport. And I will tell you this, Adam, in all honesty, I grew up a huge basketball fan, and you probably are going to think that I'm full of S with this next statement, but you can put my hand on a Bible and I will attest to this. I was actually quite the basketball player growing up. I could shoot from deep. Obviously, vertically challenged, so there's no way I'm driving to the hole, but I could shoot from the perimeter all day, man. I had the sweet stroke, and I actually got a chance to work out quite a bit with the Old Dominion basketball team down in Norfolk when I was a very little kid. Like, I befriended one of the guys on the team, a guy by the name of Donald Anderson, and he kind of schooled me, mentored me a little bit, and I was quite the little player there growing up.
Oh, well, cool. Two things. We should explain to people that we're going to do a wild card segment every week, and this is our wild card segment. We just talk about anything random. And number two, this is not a joke whatsoever or an insult at all. But have you ever actually been able to dunk on a 10-foot rim? Like, did you ever jump off a trampoline or, I don't know, jump off a ladder? Like, have you ever been able to dunk on one of the big rims?
Okay, well, here's what you need to understand, Adam, is that up until 3 years ago, I was like 400 pounds. So even with the trampoline, like, there was no way I'm doing that. Because if I were to even get up on that rim and drop, my shins would shatter because of the girth coming down. Now I can honestly jump up and get about halfway up the net, man. But at 5'6", there is no way I'm getting that rim. I am not Spud Webb. I am not Muggsy Bogues.
Well, I know you did it because every kid did it. They had the adjustable rims.
Oh yeah.
How low would you have to put it before you could finally dunk?
About 3 feet. About 3 feet.
Okay, I'm trying to be nice here. I know you're trying to make a self-deprecating joke, but I know it wasn't quite 3 feet. How low was it?
Oh God, I don't know, like maybe 6.5 or 7. I mean, I was pretty young the last time I tried to dunk like that though. So growing up, it was probably like 6.5 or 7.
You know, two of the most impressive things I've ever seen in a dunk contest that totally were overlooked were both done by Dwight Howard. And I believe the first one was the first dunk contest he was in. He dunked the ball, but then he put a sticker of his face. Like, he dunked with one hand, and while he was up there, with his left hand, he put a sticker of his face at the very top of the backboard. Like, it almost went over the backboard. But everyone missed it. They're like, what's so special about this dunk? And it wasn't until about 2 or 3 dunks later that they saw the sticker up at the top of the backboard. And then a couple years later, he actually raised the rim to 12 feet. I believe it was the year after he came out in the Superman cape, and the year after he won it the first time. And then he dunked it at 12 feet like it was nothing. Like, just blows my mind how impressive that is.
Are you kidding me? 12 feet?
No, dude, I like the slam dunk competition. It's hard to come up with new stuff that nobody's ever seen, so it's not always exciting. But yeah, I watch it every year that I can. And yeah, dude, he dunked it with 2 hands like it was nothing. And nobody really appreciated it because he didn't do anything fancy. But it was 12 feet. That's insane. That's like almost 2 of me.
Well, that is nuts, man. Well, what's the tallest you've ever dunked? I mean, probably 10 feet, right?
10 feet. Like, I've never had a rim that you go above 10 feet, and I seriously doubt if I could make 10.1 feet anyways. I can get 10 feet, but that's about it.
Oh, you don't have the ups? Well, hold on, man. Hold on now. Let's ask. I mean, you stand 6'6", right? That's your height, right?
Yes.
Okay, 6'6", and then, but if you stick your arm straight up, I mean, it like straight up in the air, fingertips straight up in the air as well. How tall? What does that reach there? What does that put you at? Like, gotta be close to 8, maybe 8.5.
I'm not sure what my reach. I mean, they did all that stuff at the combine. I know I can touch the bottom of the net, and I know my vertical is about 32 to 33 inches. And if you equate that, I should be able to dunk the ball extremely easily. But here is my issue: when I run and I try to jump, I cannot jump off of 1 foot. I've never been able to. I am so awkward, I about fall down. So in order for me to run and jump and dunk, I have to do it off 2 feet, which is way harder than 1 foot. That's just how my body is. So for me to jump and dunk, like, it's almost easier for me to just stand there and do it, rather than run and jump. So that's why I've never been able to do any of these incredible dunks. Because if you take my height and my vertical, it should be very easy. But just for whatever, my body mechanics say, well, let me jump off 1 foot.
Interesting. Okay, but I would think, though, as tall as you are, even if you don't get that running start, if you can't jump off of 1 foot, but if you're just kind of standing at the base of the basket there and you just kind of like jumped up, I would think that you could probably get 11 feet just because you are that tall.
I mean, I can do it, and I can do it, not at the moment, because I'm in a brace, but I've been able to do it fairly easily. But for me, that's not enough. I've always wanted to do all this other stuff, and I've never been able to do any of that. So,
yeah, all right. Well, you know who can dunk? The guys in the NBA. I don't think that there's a guy in the NBA right now that cannot dunk. So let's talk a little bit about the NBA. Adam, I'm going to be perfectly honest. I'm going to try to sound really intelligent, but I'm just really not completely up to date on what's going on in the NBA right now. I know that it's not looking good for the Washington Wizards this season, just off of preseason prognostications and whatnot, but we'll see how that turns out. That's the extent of it. I know that there's always the Heatles down in Miami. I know that Boston's going to pose a threat. I know that the Lake Show is still intact. Maybe Dallas can be a formidable opponent this year. I don't really know. What is your take on this NBA season? Who are the early contenders?
Well, I think we should just maybe talk two teams out of the West, two teams out of the East, and then maybe a couple of MVP contenders, and then make our predictions from there. I mean, to me, in the West, I'm not. I understand why the Oklahoma City Thunder, if I could talk, Thunder traded away James Harden because of the contract situation. Next year he's probably going to go somewhere else. They wanted to get something for him. But had they kept him, they would have been my favorites in the West. Just with the team cohesiveness, how good they were last year. They're young. They're just going to get better and better. But to me, he was one of the three major cogs on that team, and now they're down a major cog. They're still going to be really good, and I think they're going to get to the Western Conference Finals. I think they'll beat San Antonio. I think they'll beat the Clippers, who will also be pretty good. But I think it's going to be the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Lake Show, as you call them. I think the Lakers, it's going to be a while before Dwight Howard's back is healthy, before Kobe is healthy, before Nash is healthy, before they all, working as a cohesive unit. But I do think they'll get to the Western Conference Finals. It took the Heat a year to win a Finals championship together. When Shaq first went to Miami, they got to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they were eliminated. But then the next year, they won the Finals. The rare exception to a bunch of superstars coming together and winning a championship in that first year is the first year of the Big Three up in Boston. With Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett. That first year, they won the championship. I believe it was that first year. But they weren't able to duplicate it since. So I think they're going to get to the finals, and I think they're going to get to the Western Conference Finals. I think they're going to beat the Oklahoma City Thunder and get to the finals. I think the East is honestly a lot more cut and dried. If D. Rose plays, which I'm a little conflicted whether he should. For his team, sure, he should play. For himself and the long-term longevity of his team, maybe he shouldn't. If he plays, Chicago's more of a contender. If not, obviously they're not. But I think it's going to come down to two teams, the Celtics and the Heat. The Celtics lose Ray Allen to Miami. A little bit of angst there between some of the fellas, but they also get Jared Solinger, who's been one of the top collegiate players from Ohio State the past few years on the team. And they get a little bit younger as well. And I think they have the athletic ability. Obviously, they still have KG. They still have Paul Pierce, and they're going to contend. But I don't see anybody really tripping up the Miami Heat. They are a year more cohesive with each other. They know each other better. They were killing everybody at the end of last year, especially in the finals. And now they've added Ray Allen. I think the Heat win the East. Maybe, it takes them 6 games to beat the Celtics, but I don't think it's a big challenge. And I think you got the Lake Show and the Heat in the finals. And I think if it was a year from now, the Lakers would have a pretty good shot at beating them. But it's going to take a year for them to get together. So I got the Heat kind of winning it all. And here's a surprise for you. I do not have LeBron James winning the MVP, however. I have Kevin Durant going off this year, really taking control of that Oklahoma City team, not leading them to the finals or a championship, but winning the MVP while the Heat win the championship. What say you?
Well, I think that that's a lot more in depth than I'm ever going to get right now in the NBA season. But I will say this. I want to just kind of compare and contrast what the Miami Heat were able to do as far as putting together a team and buying a championship, and now what's happening out in LA. Now, I think that kind of why Miami worked and going out and purchasing all of that free agent talent is because their core group of guys are young. And so you talk about Ray Allen going to South Beach. Well, here's the thing. Ray Allen, he's no spring chicken, but he's not going to be the star on that team. Ray Allen, he's been around forever and a day. He played Jesus Shuttlesworth in that Spike Lee movie. God, I was still in high school when that came out.
White Man Can't Jump or something like that?
No. Definitely not White Man Can't Jump. It was a serious film. Denzel Washington was his father. It was all about, I guess, He Got Game. That was the name of it. He's an inner
Oh,
city
okay.
kid. He's got
That's
Mad
right.
Game. His
That's
father
right.
was incarcerated. Blah 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 blah. It's a good movie. I highly recommend it. But I mean, that movie came out in 1998. Okay, that's 15 years ago at this point. That is a ridiculous long time. So my pick in the East, Miami Heat. That's a young team, good, cohesive. I don't think that the Lakers are gonna do anything spectacular. I don't think that they're gonna reach the finals. That is an old, aging team out there. Kobe Bryant, like Ray Allen, no spring chicken. He's been around forever and a day. I remember when it was a big deal when he first joined the NBA, and he was fresh out of high school, and the pop singer Brandy fresh out of high school, and I believe that they went to prom together. Like, that's when I was really introduced to Kobe Bryant, and I was still in high school at the time, and I just turned 30, so we're talking about 15, maybe 16 years ago at this point, when I first started hearing about Kobe. So he's
This
no
is his
spring chicken.
17th year in the league. It's his 17th year in the league, so you're right.
I mean,
About 17.
that is just, it's ridiculous to me. The Chicago Bulls, we'll see what happens there. You spoke briefly about Derrick Rose. Well, here's the thing. He's rehabbing that left knee. You see the Nike commercials for him. This is something I forgot to bring up with you. You see the Nike commercials with him all about this comeback. They've built it up. Is he coming back? Yes, he's coming back. He's going to be bigger, better than ever. But the season starts and he's not there. And now I saw something in the Chicago Tribune this week that said he's even unlikely to sit on the sidelines if he's not ready to go. He's not even going to be there with his team if he can't play, because it's going to be so difficult for him to sit on the bench. And I thought that was interesting. It's not as though the NBA has an injured reserve like the NFL does. It's not like he's in your position. This is a guy that would have the opportunity to go out there, to travel with the team. Yes, he'd have to wear a suit every night, but he'd still be out there to show his support. But I don't know. But the Bulls, minus Derrick Rose, not that good for me. I'm with you. I think that the Miami Heat are the team to beat until further notice.
I got you. Who you got for the MVP?
John Wall. We'll play Homer here. John Wall.
Are you being serious, or you just okay? All right, I got you. Play to the fans.
Definitely not being.
I'm with you.
I am definitely not being serious. And anybody that takes me seriously is crazy. Again, just like the Miami Heat, I know that this is going to sound halfway unintelligent to me and just super casual, super layman. But LeBron James, again, until proven otherwise, this is a guy that just proves himself year in and year out. Takes that little bit of criticism. Miami last year got off to a little bit of a rough start. Everybody's wondering, well, are the Heat really that good? They didn't win the championship the year before. They fell short on the finals. Are they really that good? The truth is, yes, they are. And LeBron is a critical part of that. And we have not seen a player as dynamic as LeBron James since Michael Jordan was in the league. And Michael Jordan won MVP after MVP after MVP. And as long as he was in the league, he was dominant. Even when he was in the Washington Wizards and he was pushing 40, he was still scoring games, north of 40 points. I think that he even had a game here in Washington when he scored north of 50. And I think that LeBron James, again, until further notice, is going to be that guy. He is my MVP.
I can't argue with that. The only reason I went with Durant is because Wade is healthy. They've added Ray Allen. They got Chris Bosh, and Oklahoma City got rid of one of their major weapons. So to me, they're going to depend on Durant a lot more than Miami should have to depend on LeBron. I think LeBron's the best player in the game. I don't know that he's to a Kobe level legacy-wise, because he doesn't have 5 rings. And I think when people compare him to Jordan, not only is that ridiculous, it's flat out unfair, because Jordan is the greatest player of all time. And to compare a guy to someone on that level who is nowhere near that level yet, talent-wise, obviously, yes. But status-wise, legendary, legacy-wise, rings-wise, no, not even close. And to put that kind of pressure on him is just tough. But actually, these are things we could debate every week. Are you digging the wild card segment once a week? You digging this?
I'm digging the wild card, man. I just don't know how deep I can go in the NBA, man. We might have to dust off my highlight knowledge. I'd have a better shot at doing that than the NBA some weeks. But I'm not saying that LeBron James is as good as Michael Jordan. I'm not saying that he has the legacy of a Kobe Bryant. What I'm saying right now is he has the potential to be there. He's on the track to get to at least to surpass Kobe Bryant as far as legacy. Nobody will ever surpass Michael Jordan for being the greatest player of the game. He's one of those guys that is going to be talked about for centuries to come. Michael Jordan is to the NBA what Babe Ruth was to baseball. He is the sport, and that will never change. What I'm saying about LeBron James is he has the potential to be mentioned in the same breath. If we want to use a baseball analogy, he has the potential to be mentioned in the same breath as a Mickey Mantle, as a Lou Gehrig, or in my case, as a Darryl Strawberry.
LeBron James is to the NBA what my Survivor Series team is to the WWE. I just had to get that in there. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
and thought I'd let it go, but I couldn't let it go. But we could touch on other subjects, such as maybe Mayweather Pacquiao. Is it ever going to happen? Should it happen? Why doesn't it happen? So, I just think it's fun because we can expand and talk about anything.
All right, well, let's do it, man. I'm up for it every week, and you know what? I'd actually encourage fans to send us some suggestions, man. There's just wild card segments, so tweet us at Fourth and Pain. Let us know what you want us to talk about, semi-intelligently, hopefully, and then be sure to log on to fourthandpain.com. Let us know who has the better team. Team champions, that would be me, Team Chuck, versus Team Adam Carriker, and Team AARP All-Stars, I'm sorry. The AARP All-Stars, Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, Triple H, and then your Young Bucks, Ryback, and Daniel Bryan. My stable, strong. John Cena, CM Punk, Kane, The Miz, and The Big Show. The stronger of the two, your guys are crippled and are going to have to be wheeled down the ramp and into that ring. Okay? They need a portable scooter so they can go out and experience life. They need to be wearing those buttons. Why? Because they're going to be saying at the end of this, "Help, I've fallen and I can't get up."
My roster's a bunch of Hall of Famers. Your roster's a bunch of guys that can't get along and have losing streaks. Almost to the double digits. Doesn't even make sense. You're going to walk down to the ring eating a bunch of IHOP pancakes, by the way? I'm just curious.
Short stack? All right. Yeah, I get it. Here we go.
Asking.
Have I walked down to the ring eating a bunch of pancakes? No, I have not walked down to the ring eating a bunch of pancakes.
No, I didn't ask if you had. I asked if you're going to.
I'm not going to. Why? Because pancakes are unhealthy. And if I am one thing, I am Mr. Healthy, okay? So you think of something short and healthy. You come back to me with that analogy, and then I'll give you credit. But until then...
Pancakes are delicious. Pancakes are delicious.
Yeah, and you know what? Who's going to live longer? This guy right here. I'm just saying.
You can't even dunk on a 6-foot rim.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, the vertical leap has nothing to do with longevity, and right now all I'm saying is I'm a winner.
I actually think it does. I think it's been proven that basketball players live longer. And I do have a 32-inch vertical leap, even though I don't play basketball. So.
What study was that? Basketball players live longer. What study was that? Come on.
It was conducted at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln Basketball Studiological Facility.
The basketball studiological facility? Right. I'll believe that.
Hashtag pillar of honesty.
Yeah, I bet it is. That's your college education right there. All right, on that note, and perhaps more so than ever, I'm Chuck Carroll. Thank you for believing in our weirdness.
I'm Adam Carriker. Don't vote for Team Frodo. Largest arms on the D-line. Peace out, home skillet.